What connects your favorite apps, powers payments, drives maps, and even talks to your devices? APIs do. We are breaking down the 10 most powerful APIs shaping the apps and services you use every day. From lightning fast payments and real-time messages to AI smarts and live weather, these digital connectors decide how data, money, and content flow across the internet. But how do they actually work, and which ones are changing the rules? Let's dive in, starting with the backbone of it all, number 1. Think of every app on your phone talking to other apps. The secret language they use is the REST API. REST APIs are the standard way apps talk to each other on the web. The idea comes from Roy Fielding's 2000 dissertation, where he described a system built on simple rules. Imagine ordering food at a restaurant. Your app is the customer, the REST API is the waiter, and the kitchen is the server. You tell the waiter what you want. For example, a request like get users 123 with an authorization token, and the waiter brings back a clear answer, such as 200 OK, and a small JSON receipt that shows ID 123 and name Jane. Every request stands alone, so the server does not remember past orders. REST APIs use HTTP verbs get, post, put, delete to read or change resources, and they always reply with a status code. 200 for success, 404 if not found, 429 if you are asking too quickly. This model powers everything from mobile apps to cloud services. Once you know these basics, endpoints, verbs, tokens, and status codes, you can read almost any modern API. OpenAI API, part of the GPT-4 family. This API changed how software thinks and writes. OpenAI API generates new text, code, and images on demand. Instead of fetching stored files, developers send a prompt, and the system composes a response over simple REST calls. For example, when you ask ChatGPT to draft an email, or when a writing assistant suggests a paragraph, that is the OpenAI API at work. Apps use it for writing assistants, customer support bots, and smarter search features. You are billed for the number of tokens processed, and tokens are tiny word pieces. Pricing and model options update quickly. GPT-4 Turbo and other variants rolled out. Since March 2023, most business users get a privacy guarantee. By default, your API data is not used to train OpenAI models. Rate limits and tiered pricing keep usage in check, and if you hit your cap, requests slow down or get blocked. That was OpenAI API. Coming up next, Google Maps. Platform powers the maps, routes, and places you see in ride-hailing and delivery apps every day. When you request a car or check an ETA, the app calls Google Maps platform for live maps, directions, and address lookups. Every call needs an API key, which ties usage to your account and enforces quotas. In 2018, Google changed the rules. A $200 monthly credit replaced the old free tier, but all usage now required a billing account and key restrictions. For many developers, this meant a sudden jump from free to expensive. Some saw their costs rise by more than 10 times overnight. Small businesses and hobby sites scrambled to remove maps or switch to open alternatives. Today, every map load, route calculation, or place search is metered and billed after the credit runs out. The pricing shock in 2018 is a reminder that APIs can be essential, but their costs and terms can change fast. Stripe handles online payments for thousands of businesses, from tiny startups to giants like Shopify. When you enter your card at checkout, Stripe swaps your card number for a one-time token, so the store never sees your real details. This tokenization means the merchant sidesteps most PCI compliance headaches, since Stripe servers do the heavy lifting on security. If you subscribe to a service or buy something, Stripe's API manages the charge, then sends a webhook, a signed callback to your app when the payment goes through, when a subscription renews, or if a dispute pops up. Webhooks keep your records in sync and let you react instantly, like granting access after a payment or handling a chargeback. Stripe's focus on developer experience, clear documentation, quick setup, and powerful features helped it dominate e-commerce. But every dollar flows through their system, so if your webhook endpoint goes down or you mishandle tokens, you risk lost revenue or missed disputes. Twitter's API, now called the X API, lets apps read and post tweets, pull timelines, and stream live updates from the social feed. For years, third-party clients like Tweetbot and Twitterrific thrived by building on this access, offering custom timelines, scheduling tools, and dashboards for brands and power users. But in early 2023, X pulled the plug on free API access. Thousands of apps broke overnight, returning 401 or 403 errors with no warning. New paid tiers replaced the old model. The free tier shrank to just 100 reads and 500 writes per month, barely enough to test a bot. The basic tier, once $100 per month, doubled to $200 per month for 15,000 reads and 50,000 writes. Pro and Enterprise plans run from $5,000 to over $40,000 per month. Developers now face strict rate caps and shifting rules. Depending on a social AP, I means betting your project on someone else's business model, and those terms can change fast. Twilio powers the text alerts, phone calls, and two-factor codes that show up on millions of phones every day. When your bank sends a login code by SMS or a delivery service calls with an update, there's a good chance Twilio's API is behind it. Each phone number is rented by the month, and every message or call has its own price tag. Usually about $0.01 per SMS in the US, but costs can be much higher in other countries. Apps have to obey strict telecom rules like TCPA in the US, which means getting user consent, honoring opt-outs, and identifying the sender in every message. If you ignore those rules, fines stack up fast, per text, not per campaign. Twilio's own security was tested in August 2022 when hackers used fake SMS messages to trick employees into handing over passwords and one-time codes. That breach, called Octopus, exposed some customer data and showed how even security tools can be a target. With Twilio, every message has a cost, every country has its own rules, and security is always a moving target. YouTube's API comes in two main flavors, the Data API and the Player API. The Data API is the backstage pass. It lets apps fetch video details, manage playlists, or pull channel analytics. Want to show trending videos or grab comments for a news site? That is the Data API at work. The Player API is the remote control. It lets websites embed YouTube's player and control playback, play, pause, and seek. YouTube keeps tight control over the video file and the ads. Every Data API request costs quota units, with most developers starting at 10,000 units per day. A simple video lookup might be 1 unit, but a search can cost 100. If you hit your daily limit, your app stops making calls until the quota resets, or you request more. Copyright is another layer. Content ID scans uploads for matches and can block or monetize videos automatically. Even if you never touch Content ID directly, it shapes what is available and how apps interact with YouTube. For anyone embedding or analyzing video at scale, quotas and copyright rules are always in the background. Number 8, Spotify Web API, powering how you discover and share music. Spotify Web API. It powers the music features inside countless apps, dashboards, and playlists. It lets developers fetch track information, search for artists, and build or update playlists with live data from Spotify's catalog. This gives apps access to live data about songs, albums, and artists. When you connect an app to your account, you grant it an OAuth token that comes with specific scopes, which are permissions. For example, one app might only see your playlists, while another can add songs or control playback. A real-world example everyone knows is collaborative playlists, where friends can add tracks in real time, and the API keeps everything in sync across devices. Many apps also show what you are currently listening to, or let you save songs to your library. This is a great example of collaborative features in action. There is a catch. If an app wants to play music on your device through the API, you need a Spotify Premium account. That requirement is a licensing rule, not just a technical limit. The API's fine-grained permissions let you personalize your experience, but only within the boundaries you set. Remember, playing music remotely requires a premium subscription. Coming up next, Discord's API is the backbone for bots and real-time chat integrations across millions of servers. It has two main parts, the HTTP API for sending commands, and the Gateway API, a WebSocket connection that streams live events such as new messages or users joining. This setup powers everything from music bots to auto moderators that remove spam the moment it appears. In April 2020, Discord added privileged intents, special permissions that bots need to access sensitive data such as full member lists or message content. Developers now have to request these explicitly, and large bots may require manual approval. If a bot requests too many permissions, or if it overwhelms the API with too many requests, Discord enforces strict rate limits. Go over the line, and your bot can get blocked or even banned. Security is serious here. Bot tokens act like passwords. Leaking a token by pushing it to a public GitHub repository allows anyone to hijack your bot. Best practice is to rotate tokens regularly and keep them out of your codebase. Discord's focus on real-time events, tight permissions, and token safety has shaped a huge ecosystem of bots, and it also means developers must follow the rules to keep their community safe. Weather APIs power the forecasts on your phone, the widgets on your home screen, and the alerts that flash up when storms roll in. These APIs deliver current conditions, hourly and daily forecasts, and sometimes severe weather warnings, usually as simple REST calls returning JavaScript object notation. In the US, NOAA offers open government data for free, but it is raw and comes with no guarantees. Commercial providers like OpenWeather and AccuWeather build on top, adding their own models, higher reliability, and extra features, but with strict usage caps and paid plans. Free tiers might allow 1,000 calls per day, but commercial use or higher volume quickly triggers charges. It is common to see different temperatures or rain predictions for the same city because each provider uses its own data sources and update cycles. For developers, the best trick is to cache weather responses for a few minutes. Do not hit the API on every screen load. That saves money, respects rate limits, and keeps your app fast, no matter which forecast you trust. Across all 10 application programming interfaces, one pattern stands out. Digital life runs on invisible connections. Every message, payment, or playlist crosses these unseen bridges. Application programming interfaces aren't just technical. They are the silent force shaping how we communicate, create, and interact online. The future of the internet depends on them.